Yo, what's up, y'all? It's the MMA Analyst, back at it again. Here to do my review, my recap for UFC 99. The whole card on general, I was not feeling it really. I did go, how many fights were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, 12 fights. Damn, I went 11 for 12. Got one wrong. I probably should have got more than one wrong, and we'll get into that. But the undercard, I picked John Hathaway over Rick Story. John Hathaway won by decision. Stoynic over, Struve over Stoynic. Struve got busted up in the first round, was really cut up, ended up submitting Stoynic in the second round, face covered in blood. So, Struve gets the win. Paul Kelly beat Delgado. It went to decision, though. So, it's like Delgado, much props to Delgado for being able to stick it out there. He's a long, skinny dude with seemingly not much power, but he's able to at least contend with these UFC dudes. Paul Taylor beat Peter Sabata. Dennis Seaver submitted Dale Hart. And Terry Adams submitted Justin Buchholz. So, yeah. I wish I would have been doing some type of UFC fantasy league again. Because, undercard, I got 6 for 6. Main card should have got some wrong. The only one I did get wrong was Marcus Davis losing to Dan Hardy. And we'll talk about that right now. Marcus Davis versus Dan Hardy. To be honest, I missed the first round of this. As a jiu-jitsu class, we had a world champion, Rafael, if you want to call him Rafael. He is American, so. But Rafael Lovato Jr., he was doing our, he was basically doing some classes. Our dude, George Brito, is gone. And Rafael Lovato Jr. came through, taught some classes. I mean, it's all good for me. But anyway, so that class went from like 12, and then we were rolling until around 3 o'clock. And then, turned on the UFC. He wanted to see the fights. He's a big fan. But anyways, missed the first round. Still haven't really watched it. But from what I saw, it was a very close fight. Marcus Davis basically... He got kneed and dropped. He got elbowed to hell in the first round from the replays I saw in between the first and second round. In the third round, he got bloodied up. Basically, Dan Hardy took this fight. I mean, they're both tough fighters. They're both tough guys. And Dan Hardy proved that he's I don't know if he's the real deal, but he's a real deal. And he's to be dealt with, you know what I mean? So, congratulations to Dan Hardy. Marcus Davis, damn dog, I know he wanted this win real bad. I think after the fight, after everybody fights, even like Hughes and Sarah, when they finish, they hugging and lifting each other's hands up. And after all the foolishness BJ Penn said to GSP, at the end of the fight, they still, everybody always buries the hatchet after the fight. Marcus Davis wanted to just bury the hatchet in dude's head. He said he wants a rematch. He did not shake hands. I was like, okay. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Davis is not happy with the results, and and that's that. Will we see Davis again? Of course we will. We'll probably see him in the next couple months. Will it be against Dan Hardy? I hope not. I mean, I don't want to see that rematch, to be honest. I'd rather see Davis fight somebody else and Hardy fight some tougher competition and see how real he really is. But overall, pretty okay fight. Now, here's one I should have got wrong. I did not because the judges were, I don't know. But Caol Uno, I don't know where the R is in Caoluno. Where's the R? Carl Uno. They kept saying Carl Uno. I'm like, yo, if you're just going to change his name, you might as well just completely Americanize it. Carl Jones, coming from the blue corner, speaking perfect English, and, it was just crazy. Carl Uno, but whatever. Cal Uno, Spencer Fisher. This fight here, there's not much to talk about. Carl couldn't get the fight to the ground. I had Spencer Fisher win in the first round. I had Carl winning the second round. And then the third round, I had Spencer Fisher probably winning it until 50 seconds left when he just said, F it, I'm done. I don't even want to fight anymore. I quit. And he just let the takedown happen, got mounted, punched in the face, and dominated for the last 50 seconds of the fight in mount. So I was sitting there watching the fight like, oh, damn, my pick done fell through. You know, that's easy. Carl for the win. You know, FTW for Carl. And the judges gave the fight to Spencer Fisher. Whoa. That's it's bad, man. That's not a good call at all. You have to give the third round to Carl. I mean, Carl had him mounted. You know, Carl Jones had Spencer Fisher mounted for 50 seconds. At the end of the fight, Jones was just pounding on him, trying to go for subs. Spencer Fisher was just trying to get out of that fight alive. You know, they didn't let Carl Jones win. They took the win away from him, and that's tough. It's pretty tough, I think. I think if you're Asian and you go to decision in the UFC, you're going to lose. Because recently you got Carl Jones, who lost. Then we also had the Prana-looking dude. What's his name? And, you know, Anderson Silva subbed him out, you know what I mean, with the heel hook, scissor hook. Just losing, you know, can't remember his name. But he lost in a decision in Montreal that he definitely should not have lost. I think that was to Sam Stout. So, I mean, if you're Asian and you're in the UFC, you better win. You better finish that fight. You know what I mean? Or change your name to Carl Jones and get a tan. Next fight, Mike Swick versus Ben Saunders. I don't like disrespecting fighters because, A, they're fighters, you know what I mean? They're tough-ass dudes, and, you know, if I ever see these dudes, and, you know, I don't think I can take most of them. But, I mean, Ben Saunders' stock went up way too fast from beating a guy that literally just didn't know how to fight properly. Like, he knew how to shoot guns. Like, Wolf knows how to shoot a gun. You know, he'll run into army and into battle and do all types of crazy stuff. Might snap your neck, you know, with just a twist. You know what I mean? Sneak up behind you and stab you in the throat with a 12-inch blade. He can do all that, but defend against knees, that's not his thing. And Ben Saunders came through and put the clinch on him, pow, 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 kick, 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 pow, 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 pow. And everybody was like, oh my God, Ben Saunders is a monster. And that's not the case. And Ben Saunders knew it too. You know, like, if this was poker, basically, like, in the very first, right away, Ben Saunders just flipped his hand over and was like, all I got is queen high. That's all I got. He ran out and went for a horrible takedown, ended up pulling guard, and just holding on for dear life. He didn't even get punched. This is like what people do when they get hurt. And they're like, please don't hurt me anymore. They just hold on. Let me get my brain back. He did this right off the bat. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. And, I mean, out of all the times that fights have been stood up for no damn reason, you know what I mean? I know, what's his name? Roy Nelson wishes that this referee would have been his ref when he was fighting Arlovsky. You know, because dude stood him up in the middle of a Kimura attempt. And that dude did not want to stand this fight up. He must have been just like, this is easy. Reffing is easy. I can just sit here and watch these dudes hold each other. Finally, they stood it up. Ben Saunders' striking was not what it was supposed to be. We already saw when he hit the ground the first time that his ground game is not what he said it was. And Mike Swick decided, you know, this is some foolishness. I'm supposed to be quick. Let's get it done. And that's what he did. Mike Swick started hitting him. Ben Saunders' defense was like, oh, don't hit me. Oh, no, don't hit me. And then his hands fell down. He's turning. You know, this ain't any Muay Thai specialist. You know what I mean? Come on now. You know what I mean? So, Mike Swick gets the win. He's 9-1 in the UFC. I know he's fought a lot in the UFC, and I never really paid attention to him. You know what I mean? Just because he's never really in the title picture. But maybe y'all should start, you know, putting him up against some real dudes and see what goes on now. Alright, next fight. Mirko Crow Cop. Mirko Gotcha Crow Cop. Mirko, everybody who thinks that Mirko Crow Cop is staying in the UFC, put your hands up. Not so fast, right? Crow Cop. Mirko Crow Cop came out. I knew he wasn't going to throw a kick. I'm telling you, y'all. I didn't say it here, but before the fight, I was sitting there. There's about 10 people that witnessed it, and I was like, y'all, he is not going to throw one kick. I promise you. It's going to be TKO by punches. Didn't know it was going to be TKO by eye poke, TKO by Dan Miragliotta, inability to see what's going on, and TKO by, I'm not exactly sure what happened in the end, but he wasn't going to throw a kick. Crow Cop came out. It didn't look too special, you know what I mean? Mustafa Al-Turk was throwing these horrible punches, you know what I mean? Just flailing away. Horrible punches. And, Crow Cop steps aside, jab in the face, steps aside, jab in the face, you know what I mean? Started walking him down, started finally throwing some punches. Then I didn't know he was training with Cheick, though. I didn't know he was training with Cheick. So he kind of, threw that. Cheick normally does it with the thumb, I get your eye, you go, oh, damn. But, he said, don't steal exactly my move. So he poked him in the eye. And then Mustafa Al-Turk was obviously I was like, oh, either two things. A, he done broke his orbital bone because nobody goes, ha. Or B, he poked him in the eye. Dan Miragliotta didn't know. I think Dan Miragliotta was like, C, I think he's faking, and as soon as he comes in, he's gonna give, he's got his back turned and he's curled up in the air and standing up. But as soon as Crow Cop comes in to get him, he's gonna turn around and take him down. Like, Dan Miragliotta, come on, dude. I mean, you are making mistake after mistake. It seems like you make more mistakes than just normal decisions. Anyway, so he lets Mustafa Al-Turk turn his back. Crow Cop tries to throw some round the back hooks. They miss. I'm surprised Dan Miragliotta didn't say, Mustafa Al-Turk, don't grab the cage, because when he was falling down, he tried to grab that cage. I'm surprised you didn't take a point off. Anyways, find out, he got poked in the eye. Al-Turk, really, that's tough. Like, probably better than getting knocked out, like, hardcore, which is what was going to happen. But, I mean, that's still a tough outing. And then, after that, oh, Lord, Mirko Crow Cop. Now, look, let's be clear. The UFC needed some help in Germany. They did not have the star power they needed. And they needed somebody that was, close to German and close to big. Well, Mirko Crow Cop is huge, and popularity-wise, and, Croatia, Germany, it's a lot better than America, Germany, right? So instead of bringing over Randy Couture or somebody, because they were going to bring over Randy Couture because he spoke German or something, these guys think that, you got to... People like fights, you know what I mean? If a guy comes over here and doesn't speak English, I'm like, oh, man, I wish you would have sent somebody who spoke English, or I wish you would have sent somebody who was black, because then I would feel more comfortable. But no, you know what I mean? Send over a good fighter. Anyways, they sent over Crow Cop. Now, they had made an agreement, supposedly, that it would be a 3-fight contract, but for now, just make this one fight, and then you'll fight 2 more times. Crow Cop was like, X! And put the X on that. He said, I'm fighting once. Well, it would have been nasty. Oh, man. If Crow Cop would have came out and went like, pop, left, high kick, KO, dash. Oh, my God. This is like Crow Cop pulled the dashboard, the DNF on the UFC Undisputed. He basically was like, win. And then he pressed the button in the middle, and then dashboard, ghost. And Dana's pissed. He said, this is the first time it ever happened. Well, welcome to Dana land, Dana. You know what I mean? People get cut all the time in the middle of a contract because you don't want them around, or because they lost a fight, or because they wouldn't sign some contract for a video game, and for the first time in 8 years, a fighter has got your back. Well, there you go. Crow Cop said, I'm going to sign a 3-fight deal with Dream. Would I like to see Crow Cop in the UFC? Yeah. You know what I mean? Would I like to see him, put a respectable title run together? Yes, I would. But am I going to get upset with the dude for saying, let me grab my 200,000 K and then let me come over to Dream and make some more money and be able to do whatever I want, fight when I want and who I want? I mean, am I gonna respect him more for it? No, but can I understand why? I don't know how old he is, but a much older man than me is gonna go out there and say, you know what? You know what I mean? I already got money. I don't really need to be tied down in some kind of crazy contract going over the United States and what. You know what I mean? The dude doesn't want to fight in the United States. He doesn't want to fight in the UFC. He pulled one over on Dana. There you go. What can I say? So, Crow Cop got the win. Rant over. Alright, next. Cain Velasquez versus Cheick Kongo. Oh my goodness. Yo, I've never laughed so much in my entire life. This is probably going to mess up any chance I ever get of interviewing or anything with Kongo. But it don't matter anyways, because if he did get mad, I'd probably just take him to the ground and punch him. No, probably not. Probably get knocked out. But, I'm just saying. I don't know how good my chin is. If it's as good as Cain's, I'll win the fight. I will win the fight. Cain Velasquez came out, threw a few punches, all of them missed, then he got rocked. Then he got rocked worse. And when he woke up, he was in mount. Muscle memory, y'all. Muscle memory. Dude got bow. Dropped down to one knee. Didn't fall backwards. Didn't flail his arms. Didn't try and talk trash. Didn't do any of that without bow. Oh, damn. Fell down, but dropped to one knee. Tried to get back up, and Kongo came out. Bow! And hit him in the face. Jacked his neck up. Didn't fall back. Didn't go crazy. Didn't lose his hands. Didn't go stiff. He just said, where's this big ass dude at? Grabbed him. Went for the takedown. Got the takedown. Went to side control. Got mount. Oh, my goodness. Listen. Cain Velasquez showed a few things in this fight. Anybody with some pretty good wrestling can beat Kongo. We already knew that, but even if you're half knocked out, Cain Velasquez was literally probably sleeping in that first 3 minutes of that fight from those two punches. Pop, pop, I'm out. And when he woke up, he was punching somebody like, I don't know how I got here, but it's much better than the alternative. And that's crazy. Now, Cheick Kongo, you got to realize, man, Cheick Kongo, his ground game, he was mounting. He was trying to do like hip escapes, like trying to just sit up. You know, you got a 200 and something pound man on your upper body, just trying to punch you in the face. Your defense or trying to reverse it can't just be, I'm gonna power out of this. You're big and you're black, but you ain't that big, and nobody is that black. You can't just power out. You have to have some idea of what you're doing. Somebody said he has some Greco-Roman wrestling in his life. He must have been like 4 years old, like the way kids had to play piano when they just played it, didn't like it, and quit. I can't believe he did anything special with Greco-Roman wrestling with that performance. Anyways, second round, I'm like, Cain, don't do it, dog. Go out there, get that takedown. No. Pow! Gets popped again. Now, Cain either has a suspect chin or a real good chin and amazing recovery, but regardless, we know you do not want to get hit by Kongo. But it didn't matter. Pow! Knocked out again, basically. But Cain, no big deal. Oh, let's scramble for the takedown. Got it. Side mount, got it. Am I going to put on my hooks and go for submission? No. That's something we're going to talk about later. Won the second round. Third round, I was upset because I was like, oh no, something's going to happen. And I turned around and I started, because at the beginning of the third round, I was like in a room full of people laughing and screaming. And as soon as I saw him come out and start throwing punches, I got pissed. I said, Cain, what the F are you doing, man? So I turned around and I started slamming on the ground like, Cain, don't do it. And then I heard everybody go, ah. And I turned around. Kongo had shot for a takedown. Oh my goodness. Kongo shot himself in the foot. Got put down again. Cain had his way with big ass. Listen, man. Cheick Kongo. June 13th, 2009. Loses unanimous decision to Cain Velasquez. The worst ground performance since March 1st, 2008. Loses a split decision to Heath Herring. The worst ground display since October 14th, 2006. loses a split decision to Carmelo Marrero. Dude, 2006, 2007, 2008, you in 2009, man, and your ground game is not improved yet? What are you doing? What are you doing at Wolfsley right now, man? I mean, Rampage is strong. He's not the best wrestler of all time, but he knows how to at least stop. Oh, my God. Cain Velasquez pushed his head down at one point in the third round. That's all he had to do. He's going for a takedown. Cain was like, no. Pushed his head down, and that was that. Took his back, or, you know, it was crazy, man. This Cheick Kongo has a 0 belt in anything. He's a white belt. He doesn't have a white belt. He has pre-white belt jiu-jitsu, and his wrestling is atrocious. It's despicable. It's absurd. It's an abomination. It's ludicrous. It's incredulous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I can't conceive how his ground game is so damn bad. With all that said, he can hit like a biatch, and like I said, and like a biatch, not he punches like a girl, but he can hit like hard. And he's big, and like I said, he's black. And again, I don't know what that means, but like I said, you just put it on. In the UFC video game, it says strong, big, and black. That's not me. It's undisputed. But he needs to fight only people that strike. And not the K1 dudes, just the UFC guys. Wow, that was crazy. Cain Velasquez, on the other hand, he doesn't get out of this scot-free. Before this fight, I believed Cain Velasquez. People get mad at me for saying Squez. They want me to say Velasquez. But it's a habit. I'm trying right now. Cain Velasquez. And I heard them saying Squez too. You know, can some of my brown pride folks, can some of my Latino, you know, my familia, some of my essays let me know what's going on? You know, is it Squez or Kez? I'm going to say Squez, you know what I mean, just cuz. Just Squez, I want to. Cain Velasquez, actually now that I feel weird about it, I'll say Kez. Cain Velasquez, I believe, could beat, and I'm going to say it, Shane Carwin, and I thought if he fought Brock, he could beat Brock in the past. After this fight, however, I believe Carwin would beat Cain Velasquez, and I believe Brock would beat Cain Velasquez. If Cain got some good jiu-jitsu, which he refused to use if he had any, when Kongo gave his back so many times, all he had to do was just put one hook in, then think about the other hook. But it was kind of like Brock, where, you know, he had Herring's back, and he's like, I'm not going to go for anything. I'm just going to punch him. So, I don't know. Cain, there's a lot of questions now. We already knew what we knew about Kongo. And those who didn't want to believe what would happen was going to happen, well, now you know. You know, you've seen it again. Do you need to be reminded again? Does Kongo have to fight? You know, what would Brock have done to Kongo? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. Now, maybe Kongo would have knocked Brock out with that initial punch. Who knows? But if he doesn't get that initial punch, you know, them little masturbation hammer fists that Brock likes to do, as weak as they look, they put people to sleep. So, you know, and what would Shane Carwin have done to Kongo? Good Lord. Don't ever let that happen. Please do not. But lots of questions about Cain Velasquez. You know, how good is he in his jiu-jitsu? You know what I mean? Why did you opt to never put in the hook? To only go for the rear naked choke once? Who knows? Is his chin? What's up with his chin? We know he can recover, but what's up with his chin? Because if, let's say, you know, Carwin hits your chin, and then you're rocked, and he takes you down, well, what's going to happen then? You know what I mean? Damn. Alright. Kongo, whatever, dude. Cain, we got to see what's going to happen next. Now, the other fight that I probably should have got wrong was Rich Franklin versus Wanderlei Silva. However, I'm not sure what the scores, like, I didn't know what was happening during this fight. I was watching the fight, I'm like, wow, Wanderlei definitely won the last round. That's what I knew. That's what I said to myself. Well, Wanderlei won round 3. But I don't know what happened in those first 2. And then for the judges to say 30-27, 30-27 for Rich? Whoa. Whoa. The fight, I did pick Rich Franklin by unanimous decision. That is what happened. But I don't know if I should have got it. I'll make this quick though. I like Wanderlei, no homo. I love Wanderlei, no homo. But it's time for the dude to hang him up. It's just time, man. I mean, it went as good as it possibly could have gone. It was a war. He didn't get knocked out. Nobody got hurt. Hang him up, Big Pimpin'. You are a champion. You used to be one of the most feared, vicious, violent fighters, in MMA. That day has come and gone. Your arsenal of attack has greatly been reduced. You know what I mean? You used to come blazing with Uzis and AK-47s and grenades strapped to your back. Now it looks like you mostly just got a pocket knife and an old gun with 2 bullets. You can still kill people, but you only got 2 bullets. You know what I mean? Before you could throw grenades and all types of crazy, but right now you can stab them with a little pocket knife, Swiss Army knife type thing, or you got 2 bullets from an old rusty gun. It's not your fault. You've been in war for a long time. But now it's time to just get that badge, get that Medal of Honor, get that whatever it is, hang them up and just be the dude that used to be. Because you don't want to become, no disrespect, you don't want to, and it could never really happen, but you don't want to go down that Ken Shamrock road where you just keep losing and losing and losing and losing. And I know Wanderlei doesn't care about the losses, at least that's what he says, but you gotta be, And the thing is, he is still competitive. He took it to 3 rounds, and he had Rich, rocked a couple times, but it's just like, if you can't compete at that high level, and you are that high level dude, well then what do we're gonna start fighting, Ben Saunders, you know what I mean? Like, no disrespect, you're gonna start fighting like smaller, weaker guys so that you can go out and crush them, you know what I mean? Certain guys, they start down here and they work their way up, you know what I mean? You jumped to the top, Wanderlei, you were there, and now you're going down. So before you end up all the way at the bottom, right around here, just slide to the left. I don't know if that's left to y'all, but it's left to me. Slide to the left, chill out, and be the dude. Be the man. I don't know if you got kids, but I know you have a life. You got money. You got respect. You got a big-ass head tattoo, which means you're not getting a job anywhere outside of MMA. But you don't need one, so that's good. Just retire. Chuck, you can do the same, but do it on your own, whatever. Don't do it because somebody else want to make you retire so that you don't go fight somewhere else. Please, both y'all. Heck, fight one more time in a we both quit match. Like, we're going to fight one more time and then quit. Both of you together, hands raised. That'd be sweet. You know what I mean? No matter what happens, we're both quitting. Not Quentin, like Quentin Rampage Jackson. Quitting. Anyways, UFC 99. Me, didn't really like it at all. Cain Velasquez versus Cheick Congo. It happened the way I thought it would happen. I just thought he'd be able to finish him. Krokop versus Al-Turk. More entertaining stuff happened after the fight. Swick versus Saunders. At least the reality check was put back in there. Swick got the win. Cal Uno was gypped. The fight wasn't that good. Dan Hardy won in a close decision. I don't think the fight was that good either. And that's that. UFC 99 is done. Now, people, be ready. Be ready for what is going to happen next. Some real good stuff. We got Clay Guida versus Diego Sanchez. That's bound to be a war. Joe Stevenson versus Nate Diaz. That, again, is bound to be a war. Then we got UFC 100. Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir. Ooh-wee, right? George St. Pierre versus Thiago Alves. Same card. Akiyama showing up, dog. Oh, my goodness. We got Dan Henderson versus Michael Bisping. You do not want to be around when I have to do those reviews. Or maybe you do, right? That's all before July 11th. Alright? Then we got August 8th. BJ Penn versus Kenny Florian. Anderson Silva versus Forrest Griffin. Oh my goodness. Alright? Then we got UFC 102. Randy Couture versus Nogueira. Nate Marquardt versus Damian Maia. The winner of that has to get the title shot. Keith Jardine versus Thiago Silva. I'm all good for that. Matt Hamill versus Brandon Vera. Woohoo! This is some good stuff. Junior DeSantos versus Justin McCauley. Should I mention that? No, shouldn't. Erase that. This is all before September. This all happened before September, y'all. MMA, it's exciting right now. And it's important. Peace.